Phillips 66 is shutting down its Los Angeles refinery this week, and California is about to lose 139,000 barrels per day of gasoline production. The Wilmington facility will idle units in phases through December, and the entire operation will be permanently offline by year-end, according to sources who spoke with Reuters. That is 8.3% of California's total refining capacity disappearing in the next few weeks. 600 employees and 300 contractors are losing their jobs by December 31st. Phillips 66 says only a handful will be reassigned to the company's marine terminal operations. That is 900 families affected right before the new year. The company announced this back in October, citing market dynamics, but knowing it was coming does not make the impact any less severe. California is now scrambling to replace 1.3 billion gallons of gasoline annually that this refinery produced. The state currently imports about 1.1 billion gallons per year, which is 8% of its supply. With the Phillips 66 closure, that import dependency jumps to 17%, according to Skip York, chief energy strategist for Turner Mason & Company. Here is what Californians need to understand about where their gas will now come from. Vessel tracking data from Kepler shows California hit a 4-year high in May 2025, importing 279,000 barrels per day. 70% of those imports came from South Korea and other Asian exporters. We are talking about 187,000 barrels per day just from Asia. The remaining imports are coming from some unexpected places. India sent 39,000 barrels per day of gasoline and alkylate in May, the highest since January 2024. California even started importing from the Bahamas, which shipping experts say is typically too expensive to make economic sense. One gasoline trader explained that sailing a tanker from Texas to California via the Bahamas usually does not work financially, but the refinery outages opened up the arbitrage to the West Coast from everywhere. A gasoline tanker voyage from Singapore to California takes 30 to 40 days, according to York. That means the gasoline you pump in February was loaded onto a ship in December. Any disruption, such as a typhoon, shipping delays, or port congestion, adds weeks to that timeline. Compare that to pipelines, which deliver continuously, or rail shipments, which take days, not weeks. California has 0 pipelines connecting it to other refining regions. None from Texas, none from the Gulf Coast, nothing. The state operates as what analysts call a fuel island. Every drop of imported gasoline must arrive by ocean tanker. The Jones Act makes it prohibitively expensive to ship between U.S. ports unless you use American-flagged vessels, and there are only 55 such petroleum tankers in the entire country. Not just any refinery can make California gasoline. The state requires a unique formulation called CARBOB, California Reformulated Blend Stock, for oxygenate blending. Only a small number of refineries worldwide have the equipment to produce this specific blend. Phillips 66 is planning to produce some California-grade gasoline at its Washington refinery, and some refineries in India and South Korea can meet these specifications, according to the Energy Information Administration. Sumit Ratolia from Kepler told reporters that California's refining capacity is shrinking faster than its fuel demand is declining, forcing the state into a long-term import-dependent position. The California Energy Commission projects that as much as 30% of the state's gasoline demand will need to come from imports by 2026, especially in the northern half of the state. Wholesale rack prices are exhibiting rapid daily swings as traders react to tightening supply. In some instances, wholesale margins have jumped to more than 90 cents per gallon, more than double typical levels, fueled by reduced output and delays in replenishing supply via imports, according to Mansfield Energy's July 2025 analysis. California gasoline prices averaged $4.68 per gallon when imports hit their peak in May, while the national average was $3.12, according to GasBuddy data. That is a difference of $1.56 per gallon. Patrick DeHaan from GasBuddy warned that more waterborne imports will raise fuel costs in the most populous state, and the opening of unusual trade routes shows the state still has options, but at significantly higher costs. Tankers bringing fuel to California are not American vessels. According to energy analyst Edward Ring, over 95% of California's inbound crude and gasoline supplies are delivered by maritime tankers, the majority of which are not US-flagged vessels. This includes tanker ships owned by Russia's SCF Group and China's COSCO Shipping Energy Transportation. These tankers burn heavy fuel oil, a thick tar-like residue left over after refining other petroleum products. The environmental cost is significant. Tankers emit approximately 50% more carbon dioxide per barrel mile than pipelines or rail, according to analysis from Lodi 411. A 40-day voyage burning heavy fuel oil adds substantial cost